In response to the string of brazen robberies that have been plaguing the city of San Francisco, the city's mayor, London Breed, has released a new initiative.
The Walt Disney Company is now mandating vaccines for non-union members.
And the San Jose arts community is coming together to help a local photo lab. Update News starts now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Denise Billones.
And I'm Brianna Martinez. We can do better than this. That is the words from the San Francisco Mayor, London Breed. The city is reeling after a recent series of bold, broad, daylight snatch and grab robberies. Now the city is announcing a plan to shut it all down.
The city's mayor is calling this new plan an all-hands-on-deck approach. It involves partnering with local merchants and with police agencies.
San Francisco stores have been plagued with a series of brazen robberies, and store owners are fed up. The Margaret O'Leary Boutique on Fillmore was one of the sites thieves targeted.
Unless these criminals are prosecuted, they will continue to steal from our community.
Now the city is fighting back, launching a new initiative to combat retail crime. Part of that plan involves bumping up the number of investigators in the organized retail crime unit. San Francisco police will also oversee a crew of so-called 10B officers. These retired cops and security officers will carry out foot patrols at nearly 3 dozen retail locations around the city. But will the new plan work? We put that question to private security guards in Union Square.
It's good thing because you never know what happens in the street. People is crazy. People, they can buy a gun for like nothing right now. Yeah. And it's better if you have it, you choose. It's better if you have it and not use. But just in case you need it, it's better you have it.
It's an improvement. I had heard that the staffing for the police department wasn't good and that there's certain calls they can't respond to, so you have people relying more on private security, and I guess he's going to hire more reserve officers. Yeah, okay, so that is good.
As part of the plan, you will also now be able to submit a suspect description when filing a report online.
The new plan also calls for the SFPD to work with local California Highway Patrol officers as well. In San Francisco, Jared Liu, Update News.
Today's the deadline. All non-union Disney workers in the U.S. have to be fully vaccinated or they could get fired. By mid-October, unionized workers at Walt Disney World in Florida will face the same choice, but the company is still negotiating with non-unionized workers in California. Rodri Smith has the latest.
There's been some protests here in Southern California at Disneyland properties, but the company is still standing firm on its mandate so far.
The Walt Disney Company already has pretty strict COVID-19 protocols in place. All visitors 2 years and up have to wear a mask indoors. Guests are on the honor system to keep a good social distancing, and everyone, even the so-called frequent flyers with a magic key card, has to make their online reservation ahead of time. It's a system guests need to be on board with.
Somewhere such as like Disneyland, like a big theme park, I necessarily am not concerned about my own health because I'm vaccinated, but I do feel better knowing that everybody else around me would be in better hands too by the employees being vaccinated as well.
Now Disney is joining dozens of other companies around the country by starting to mandate that workers be fully vaccinated. All non-union employees have to show proof of vaccination by September 30th. The company has just negotiated a deal with the unions at Walt Disney World in Florida. Those workers have to show they are fully vaccinated by October 22nd. Asia Andrews, who works at Magic Kingdom in Florida, says she understands why Disney is mandating the vaccine.
Especially because when they had announced and I was already vaccinated, so it didn't really affect me at all. I know it does affect some people who just refuse to get it because they don't know what's in it.
But so far, there's no movement on a mandate for unionized workers in Southern California. Maya Costin said she would feel safer coming to Disneyland knowing all the workers are fully vaccinated.
I think that it does make me feel safer in a sense, knowing that everybody there will be vaccinated. Because I mean, I got on my saying that I vaccinated myself, so I like that I've done that part to kind of protect other people from that as well as myself. So
Those mandates include medical and religious exemptions. No word yet from where the negotiations stand with unions here. In Southern California, I'm Rodri Smith, Update News.
Donations are pouring in to help a San Jose staple get back on its feet. First, the floodwaters put the business in jeopardy. Now an outpouring of help is on its way. Darwin Sakilayan has the story.
Photo Express is on the outskirts of the San Jose State University campus, and its customers are working frantically to help save it. It hasn't been business as usual for more than a week now at Photo Express. An 8-inch main broke, sending water rushing into the popular downtown business. It threatens the equipment that owner Henry Chang has used to cater to his customers for decades.
I love to see people open the package, see the photo. This really bring back the memory. So this is really, the feeling cannot describe. Yeah.
Word of the water damage soon got out. Customers are rallying around the film developer. Debbie Lam is a San Jose State student and a longtime customer.
So I go there to get my film developed. I know when I first started taking photo classes at San Jose State, I would go there to get my supplies.
Another longtime customer has started a GoFundMe account to help pay for repairs at the photo shop. The money is pouring in. The shop is a staple in the San Jose arts community. Henry Chang has been serving his community at this location since 1987. That's almost 35 years worth of experience dealing with cameras and development. And his customers are hoping the money can help this staple stay afloat.
He's someone who's done a lot for the community without making it feel like he's doing anything more than his job.
As a testament to the community's commitment, that GoFundMe page has raised more than $35,000 in the last week. In San Jose, Darwin Sakilayan, Update News.
We'll have more news when we come back.
For the first time in San Jose State history, students will have a say on what name goes on their diplomas. Stick with us.
California lawmakers already passed the so-called Education Equity Bill. Now it's on the governor's desk for him to sign. It will make it easier for students to get their preferred names on their diplomas and other state-issued documents. California students who are part of the LGBTQ+ community may soon have the freedom to have the preferred names on their diplomas, rather than the so-called dead names they were assigned at birth. A bill introduced by Assemblyman David Chu would make it easier.
And when I talked with one of my lawyer friends about this at the because I'm on another group that reviews bills occasionally, and this was a bill that we did review, and we did talk about that it could be a very kind of legal limbo, and not necessarily legal limbo, but like kind of a name limbo for people in their application process, especially for new students that are like, or new alumni who are trying to go out and get jobs, right? Like, navigating the job market, do you want to be out, like, those kinds of things, like with your identity. It is a kind of a complicated thing to think about, and what you want to do as far as that application process goes.
The current legislation builds on the Gender Recognition Act of 2017 that made the name changes legal. It allowed both legal name and gender changes on state-issued documents such as birth certificates and driver's licenses.
So I believe the bill is. Going in a really good direction. It's. I like that it also doesn't even specify that it's for people that are GNC or non-binary or trans or whatever. Like, from what I've seen, you don't have to be any of that to change your name. which I really like because I think that should be a more normal thing.
Governor Newsom is expected to sign Assembly Bill 245 into law. The bill would prohibit charging a higher fee for reissuing documents based on a legal name or gender change. This will commence in 2023 to 2024. SJSU students can submit a chosen name or a name that a students wish to be known as on the Pride Center online form.
Social media has been blamed for promoting unobtainable images of beauty that leave some young people with low self-esteem. But the move to promote body positivity image is a growing trend, encourage everyone to love the skin that they're in. It's called the Body Positivity Community, and it's flourishing on the social media platform TikTok. Videos about taking care of oneself and giving pep talks have given creators thousands of followers. Marielle Greguski, a successful TikTok creator, is a part of the body positivity community. She says she enjoys spreading the love.
It's worth it to be able to be there for people and to be, a representation of people that they need and to be vulnerable.
At one point, Greguski and other body-positive TikTok creators were being banned from the app for simply showing off their bodies in a positive light. But their fans fought back, and their outrage got her back.
I had so many people jump to my defense and come into my DMs and tell me how important my page was to them and how much I've helped them reconcile with their bodies and start loving themselves so much. That's when I was like, I have to keep going.
Madison Din, an avid follower, says the body positive efforts have made a difference in her life.
Community has really helped me on my self-love journey. It's been really nice seeing people like me represented everywhere, since when I was growing up, I only saw one type of body.
Riza Garnase, who has a smaller health and beauty following, gives the movement a nod.
Me tremendously personally by allowing me to help others feel good. I love helping people, especially feeling good about themselves, whether it be through fashion or beauty.
There are more influential goobers popping up everywhere as the community keeps growing.
And now we have Joshua Gilman with the weather.
Happy first week of autumn. This week, we saw some hazy skies due to the smoke from the ongoing Sierra wildfires, though it's worth mentioning that air quality has improved since last week, and a fire weather watch is ongoing for the North Bay. But winds have remained calm enough to not issue a red flag warning. Other than that, fairly warm and dry conditions will be seen across the Bay Area. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast in the area. Starting in Santa Cruz, we're going to be seeing mainly sunny skies across the board with some clouds. Highs will be mainly in the lower to mid 70s, and lows will be consistent right at about 55 degrees. In San Francisco, they will be seeing very similar conditions to Santa Cruz, mostly sunny skies with highs in the lower 70s and lows in the mid 50s. Over in Oakland, the weekend and onwards is looking pleasant, with highs in the mid-70s and the low temperatures in the mid-50s range. Finally, in San Jose, they will be the warmest over the weekend, with highs in the lower 80s and a subtle cool-off into the mid-70s as the week progresses. The low temperatures will be in the mid-50s range, mostly sunny skies across the board, with drier conditions as the marine layer will likely not be present. There's your forecast for the Bay Area, looking mild and pleasant. Happy first week of autumn. Joshua Gilman, Update News.
And when we get back, we have more news.
When we come back, we'll have Jonathan Schaefer giving us a rundown on this week's sports.
And Malibu Barbie is going on a truck tour. More on that after this.
tour their ship. And now we have Jonathan Schaefer live with what's going on in the sports world.
Thanks, Brianna, and here are the sports updates from this past week. The women's soccer team won its first Mountain West Conference home matchup against Colorado College, shutting them out 2-0 on Sunday. Sophomore Cynthia Flores and junior Isabella Chaluines scored the 2 lone goals for the Spartans. This weekend, the team will have 2 pivotal conference games against the University of Wyoming and Colorado State University. It all happens on Breast Cancer Awareness Weekend. The men's water polo team did a great 4-1 in the Mountain Pacific Invitational over the weekend, closing it out with a thriller win 14-13 against number 9 ranked UC San Diego. Now 7-8, the Spartans will have tough matchups against UCLA and Navy. The Spartans football team's offense continues to find its footing as they only put up a lone field goal against Western Michigan 23-3. San Jose State should fare better at home next on October 2nd against New Mexico, who is 1-4 on the season. Men's soccer lost their first Western Athletic Conference game and were shut out by Air Force by a score of 2-0. They will next pair up against Dixie State on October 3rd as they look for their first win in conference play. Women's volleyball has won its 5th straight game against San Diego State University, winning in 3 sets and are now 8-4 on the season. Senior Haley Nelson had 18 total kills and sophomore Mia Schaefer had 35 assists. They travel next to Boise and Utah State University to keep the win streak alive. Don't forget to check out the women's volleyball team, who are off to a fantastic start on the season this weekend, Saturday, October 2nd, against Utah State University on the Mountain West Network. That's all for sports this week. Back to you guys.
Don't ever count Barbie out on the iconic Mattel doll was a hit during the pandemic. She generated her best sales growth in 2 decades, and this week, dozens of her fans came out to indulge in a little bit of nostalgia as Malibu Barbie pulled into San Jose.
Yeah, the Malibu Barbie truck arrived at Santana Row on a Saturday. There were families here, but the heart of all this were the die-hard Barbie fans.
Barbie enthusiasts began lining up around the bright yellow Barbie truck early in the morning at the first of its 3 stops for the Malibu Barbie in the Bay Area.
I thought it would be perfect for a mommy-daughter day here to do this. And Delaney here, she loves Barbies, and she's been playing with Barbies forever. So I surprised her and said we're going to come to this little pop-up shop.
But it's not just younger fans. Some here have been with Barbie for decades.
For us, like obviously Barbie came out, a long time ago, like when we were younger.
It wasn't until about 5 years ago that I came across Barbie, and it kind of sparked a resurgence of that love for the doll, for Barbie and what she means for me.
The Barbie tours are about selling merchandise, but this year it carried a bit more meaning. During the pandemic, Barbie was a familiar face for many who were looking for something comfortable and familiar.
It goes right back to how you could be anything. So even during a difficult time, you can always look at that positivity and that hope and that sense of you're not alone. Because no matter what kind of difficulties and challenges, you can...
Based on our interviews, what we can say is that Barbie will continue to maintain her relevance over the course of many years. Reporting at San Jose State, Sandow Update News.
And now a look at the week ahead.
Attend the Camino Chronicles project featuring the Ronstadt brothers at Hammer Theater on October 3rd at 3 p.m.
Get prepared for your next chapter in life. Come to the Success After College Seminar on October 4 from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Diversity Career Week is back. It's running from October 5th to October 7th, all through the SJSU Career Center.
For all of us here, thanks for joining us and see you next week.
Okay.